So, you've started playing chess. You've been destroying 900s with the Italian opening, and all seems to be going well. Until you come across someone who doesn't blunder a rook on move 5, and doesn't even let you go into the Friedliber attack. This forces you to play a slow, boring, maneuvering game that only ends in defeat. Clearly, you need a new opening. So come with me. It's time to learn an incredibly overpowered opening that nobody ever plays, but has a win rate over 65%. It's time to learn the Vienna game. So, first off, what is the Vienna? The Vienna game goes e4, e5, and knight to c3. What this does is it leaves room for a potential timely f-pawn push at some point later on. From this position, there are two main responses and a few sidelines. But in this video, I will cover the most accurate and most common move, knight f6, also known as the Falkbeer variation. There's a bunch of moves against this, but my personal recommendation is the Vienna Gambit with f4. This is an aggressive pawn sacrifice to gain development, space, and tempo. First, what if they take your pawn? Well, that is a big mistake. You will play e5, and then they have to play knight g8. If they move it to any other square, they are probably worse than you are, and you'll beat them very easily. They might also play queen to e7 to pin your pawn, but then you'll just copy them and play queen e2 to unpin. And it's basically the same position again, and you are still winning. So, after knight to g8, you will play knight to f3, which prevents this quite dangerous check, which would prevent you from castling and generally be inconvenient. So from here, there are two moves that I think are good. There's d6 and knight c6. If d6, play d4 to gain more space in the center, and if they take, you do not take back. If you take back now, they will trade queens, which is the exact opposite of what we want. Instead, play queen e2, pinning their pawn. From here, well, I think most people will go very, very wrong. Let's say knight to c6. Well, then you just take the f-pawn, and there's a good chance that you can just win the game like this. This discovery threat is absolutely crushing, and your opponent is dead. I mean, there's this, for one thing. But the point is, you play bishop takes f4, and rook d1, x-raying their queen. This looks very, very bad for your opponent. Now, but what if they play knight c6 instead? Well, here you have the exact same plan. d4. Taking space in the center. From here, just make some natural moves. Play queen e2. Rook d1. And you are absolutely crushing. You have all the setup required for a devastating attack. So just go nuts. But, with all that said, there's one thing that I bet you're wondering to yourself. But Sam, what if they take my pawn? Well, if the cowards don't accept your sacrifice, they will likely do it in one of 3 ways. First, if they knight to c6 here, just take their pawn. After they take, play d4. And here you've got an already better position. I mean, just look at this. This just... the space advantage is crushing. They can also decline with pawn to d6. At which point you would just play knight f3, and then say bishop c4, you'll castle, you'll go for an attack, you'll play d3, it just looks good. The only really challenging move against this opening, against the Vienna Gambit, is pawn to d5. It's the only move that allows black to fight for equality. This is a dangerous line, so listen very carefully. Here, you will take their e-pawn with your f-pawn, and after knight takes on e4, do not take that. That's just stupid. What you will do is play either knight f3 or queen f3 to take this thing out of this annoying check. Because the obvious immediate threat is check here, and knight takes g3, and you can't take because this is pinned, and you're completely lost. If queen f3 obviously stops it because it now defends the rook, so that would just lose a piece. And knight f3 because, well, this seems pretty obvious. Now, anyways, after this, and knight f3, if they trade, take with the b-pawn. This allows you to build a strong center with a pawn on c3, d4, and e5, kind of reminiscent of a French defense structure. And from here, well, you can fight for a pretty good game, I'd say. May not be perfect, you may have a bad pawn structure, but you've got space and attacking chances, which in my opinion is all you need. Alright. That's all that I have for this. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to my channel. There will be more chess content coming in the future. And thanks for watching. Bye!